Now please tell me quietly what you think you found out about my sister.
Lie number one. All this squeamishness she puts on, you should just know the line she's been feeding to Mitch. He thought she had never been more than kissed by a fellow. But Sister Blanche is no lily. Some lily she is.
What have you heard? Who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years. He knows all about her, and everybody else in the town of Laurel knows all about her. She is as famous and Laurel as if she was president of the United States, only she's not respected by any party. This supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there too.
My sister lived in Belgrade.
This is after the home place had slipped through her lily white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of the personalities there. The Flamingo is used to all kinds of goings-on, but even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed by Dame Blanche that they requested her to turn in her room key for permanently. This happened a couple of weeks before she showed here.
It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
Contemptible lies.
Sure, I can see how you would be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes as much as Mitch's.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it, and if I were a man and this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence.
Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade.
Honey, I told you I thoroughly checked on these stories. Now wait till I finish. The trouble with Dame Blanche was that she couldn't put up her act anymore in Laurel. They got wised up after 2 or 3 dates with her, and then they quit. And she goes on to another, the same old line, same old act, same old hooey. But the town was too small for this to go on forever. And as time went by, she became a town character, regarded as not just different, but downright local. Nuts. For the last year or two, she has been washed up like poison. That's why she's here this summer, visiting royalty, putting on all this act. She's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes. Did you know that there was an army camp near Laurel, and your sister was one of the places called Out of Bounds?
It's only a paper moon, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
Well, so much for her being such a refined and particular type of girl. Which brings us to lie number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She's not going back to teach school. In fact, I'm willing to bet you that she had no idea of returning to Laurel. She didn't resign temporarily from the high school because of her nerves. No, sorry, Bob, she didn't. They locked her out of the high school before the spring term ended, and I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she got mixed up with.
It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be.
This is making me sick.
The boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school superintendent. Boy, oh boy, I'd like to have been in that office when Dame Blanche was caught on the carpet. I'd like to have seen her trying to squirm out of that one, but they had her on the hook good and proper that time, and she knew that the jig was all up. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. Yep, it's practically a town ordinance passed against her.
Stella? Yes, Blanche? Give me another bath towel to dry my hair with. I've just washed it.
Yes, Blanche.
What's the matter, honey? Matter? Why? You have such a strange expression on your face. Oh, I guess I'm a little tired. Why don't you bathe too, as soon as I get out?
How soon is that gonna be?
Not so terribly long. Possess your soul in patience.
It's not my soul, it's my kidneys I'm worried about. Well, what do you think of it?
I don't believe all of those stories, and I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he said are partly true. There are things about my sister I don't approve of. Things that cause sorrow at home. Blighty.
Blighty.
But when she was young, very young, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good looking. I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshipped the ground he walked on, adored him, and thought him almost too fine to be human. But then she found out.
What?
This beautiful and talented young man was a degenerate. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. Must have been a pretty long time ago.
Yes. It was a pretty long time ago.